Janine Bolon with Open Friday Coffee. And with you today, we're going to be talking about a very important item, which is how do I get more clients? I keep getting this question, how do I get revenue? How do I get more clients? How do I make money? And so that's what we're going to be talking about. But you know how important it is that we start off with a little humor. I absolutely love my aliens here. I don't know. I got that goofy sense of humor and I play to that, and there you go, today's little thing. I'm an author, been an author since about 2005, written a few books. Today we're going to be focusing on the thriving solopreneur, though. I've been in media since, oof, yes, 1982. And so there's a joke in my team, which one of us has been in media longer, and I think I win by 6 months. But I've been doing this for a while. And in 1996 was when I really got serious and really started working the 60/40 principle, that sort of thing. This is the basis of what most people know me for, is the financial first responder. In 2005, please realize, in 2005, we didn't have a thumb like button yet on Facebook. YouTube wasn't even around. And if you wanted a book published during this period of time, you were called vain. It was called vanity publishing. So, but this was my very first book I ever wrote. And I just wanted to let you guys know that in order to keep my common copyright, you have to republish it within 25 years of its original statement. So I'm inviting you to be a beta reader as I rework this book that's been around for over a generation. And the Beta Readers Hub is what I'm inviting you to. In the chat, go ahead and look in the chat. Lynette has a link. It's totally free. And what am I asking you to do? Basically, read this over, find out if I have brought it up to speed enough. Let me know if there's some archaic language in it. Because the way people read books today is so different from 2005. So just to kind of let you know about that. Here's another freebie. You know what I like to do here? I like to give you guys a lot of free stuff. You're welcome to sign up for your very own You're on Mute card. Several people have them. They're very helpful with Zoom. And when you click on the link that Lynette is going to pop into the chat, what you'll see is just all the people that have signed up, gotten their You on Mute card from all over the world. I had a few people in Newfoundland and Israel that were like, I can't believe the card made it. So I was like, yeah, the card will get there eventually. So that's just some fun that you can do with the You're on Mute. And I have a fondness for sending people cards because I know how they really make other people's day. If you don't really know what I'm talking about, or you'd like to try out send out cards, send a card free on me, see what you think about it. And then at my next Open Friday Coffee, send a card free on me and then ask me about the systems I use. I'll tell you for free. I just, people are really wanting to connect. Okay. And one of the best ways to do that non-invasively is sending a card. They can read the card when they want to. And let me tell you, I have a 99% open rate on this sucker. Okay. When people get my cards, they open them and they tell me about how happy they are that I do that. The other free thing that you're welcome to join me on is if you are an author, yeah, I have once a month seminars that I run on Alignable called How Do I Make Money with My Book? And I talk to you about the systems and processes I use on how to make money with my book. Now, one of my students asked me a question regarding the thriving solopreneur. I got the question, how do I get more clients? And I'm like, okay, this is what you do. You get out a spreadsheet or CSV, something or other. I don't care if you use numbers, Google Sheets, or Excel, no preference. You will download all the people from your phone, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and you will put them in your master contact list or a massive CSV file. And after you have done that, then I recommend that you go to my YouTube channel because I already have this out there, but I'm saying it all again on how do I get more clients. And you pick up the phone and you start dialing. You start at the top and you work your way down to the bottom of your master contact list and you reach out to every single person. And it is amazing how many people will not do this. Okay. If you are struggling with your cash flows and your revenue streams, I say, get on the phone and start calling people. And people are like, oh, people never pick up the phone. And I go, I'm sorry, that's a fib because I use this all the time. When I have cash flow issues, I go to my master contact sheet and I start calling people. Am I selling them? No, I'm reaching out to them. And inevitably, inevitably at some point in the call, they will say to me, "So, Janine, what are you doing?" "Oh, I've got a project that I'm working on and blah, blah, blah." And they'll say, "Oh, tell me about it." Oh, and I will say two sentences, people. This is not where you upchuck. You do not verbally vomit on people about what you're doing with your project. Two sentences, okay, to explain either the name and what it is. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, well, that sounds interesting." If they have no interest in it, I'm like, "So what's going on with you? What can I help you with today?" Okay. That is how you handle those phone calls. The other thing is, are you as a business owner tracking your income producing activities? One of the things that I find is that a lot of people who are struggling with their revenue or cash streams, first of all, something may have happened that you weren't expecting, what have you. I'm not saying that that's your fault, but I do want you to really focus on what are your income producing activities. And I can guarantee you your income producing activities are picking up the phone and talking to past clients, picking up the phone, talking to the people you already know. This is income producing because these people will then think of you. You are now top of mind by leaving a voicemail with them. Now, there is this sheet that I have, but I thought today I'd do something a little different. And we're going to instead, Lynette's going to put in the chat an article that I wrote back in the dark ages of 2020. And in that article, it is your 4 critical hours. And at the bottom of that article, it says click here, that click here button is going to take you to a video that shows you how to download all of your contacts from Facebook. Okay, so what are your next steps? All right, this is one of my favorite things. As a entrepreneur, everybody thinks a lot about social media and how you have to get on it and work with it and do things with it. I want to let you know that that is a fib again. If you are a business owner and you are struggling with revenue, get off social media and start doing the most important thing that you can possibly doing. And there's a reason I put it in the lower left corner, because nobody likes to look in the lower left corner. You hide a lot of stuff there in the lower left corner, and that is sales. Sales always come first before marketing. Don't you dare start marketing yourself before you start selling. Get those sales walking in the door before you do marketing. I see people get this backwards all the time. You need to get on the phone and sell what you are doing with people. Now, I'm not saying you become a salesman and you hard sell them on the phone, but you do need to start doing that relationship marketing. And that is, how do you do that? Well, you let people you care about know that you think of them. Ergo, you get on the phone and call them. And then if they go to voicemail, then you text them on that phone and you say, "Left you a voicemail." That's it. Keep it super short. I have people that give me texts that are like reading freaking novels. I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. If your thing is over 5 lines, I may not read it. So keep it short, keep it simple, get those sales walking in the door. And this is just another little thing, and I hate to be direct and harsh on this, but sometimes I just need to do that with my students. And that is, if you do not have money coming in, you do not have a business. You have a hobby. Case closed. All right. So next steps, I promised you this. The next step for you is to figure out what your minimum viable product is. Now, if you're an author, that's easy. It's your book. There is a specific problem that you have a solution for. You wrote a book. Now sell your book. Now, your book doesn't make a lot of money. If you're lucky like me, you may get $1.25 per book. It depends on the book, right? So your minimum viable product, you want to bundle something with your book so that you have a higher profit margin. And that is where it is so important to start building out workshops. Now, this is the only thing that I talk about that costs money here, and that is a pre-recorded workshop that I do where I ran 5 authors through the workshop. It's a 90-minute workshop. It's $197. You can just click the button, go through it at your own pace. Some people say I talk too slow, so speed me up on the little gear shift that you have there on your recording, and get through that workshop so you can learn how to make money. Now, if you do it according to the way I describe in that workshop, you will make anywhere from $500 to $600, because the people that I taught with this had list sizes of 65 people in a group on LinkedIn or on Facebook. I mean, we were talking about people who had email lists of under 125 people. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Small steps. All right. So the other thing is, one of the ways I want to help you is you can get on a free 15 to 20, I think it's a 22-minute free 22-minute call with me. Lynette's going to put that in the chat. I've not offered that before, but I am offering it now because we're getting ready to have a big change in our world, and I'll describe that in just a minute. Many of you know I live out here in Colorado, and you cannot find me on Saturday. If you try to reach out to me on Saturday or on Sunday, I am beyond cell service. I am in the mountains and I am hiking. People think I'm skiing here. No, this is keep Janine alive as she's on the trail poles, walking poles. I'm not a skier. This is the area that I got to see a couple weeks ago. Very excited. This is while we're running the timberline at about 11,000 feet, but that's about where the edge of the tree line is. People are like, oh my gosh, where are all the trees? Well, let me show you. This is the timberline down here. This person that is my hiking buddy, he's 6'6", and this just kind of shows you what happens when you get the higher elevations. One of my favorite things to share with people is this particular mountain in the background is about 25 miles away. And so my hiking buddy, he's 500 feet below me. Like I'm up on a higher ridge looking down at him. Okay. And the other fun thing I like to share is this is about 11,500 feet. That's about where the timberline is. And we are at about 13,000 when we got done hiking up in there. But what is the world changing when I mention that? I got a contract where I'll be working 9 to 5 in a secure facility. And so the reason I gave you that free link to be able to have a 22-minute call with me is so that you can reach out to me and tell me what times would you like me to be able to do Open Friday Coffee? Because currently I'm looking at next Open Friday Coffee will be at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. So it's going to be 2 hours earlier because then I will still have time to don my work gear and head out to my contract and get there at 9 o'clock. So I just want to let all of you lovely people know who listen to my videos that Open Friday Coffee is changing and we may be able to catch it before you go to work in the morning. So that's that for the slide deck. And good morning, everyone. It's great to see you. Thank you for your patience as we ran through that and took care of all of my students that listened to this afterwards. And Nancy, we're going to start with you because you said, Janine, I have a question. So go ahead.
Well, I'm reading the
Oh,
published
thanks.
Profitability for
Yeah.
Authors Guide. And I got to something that I really love. I love your suggestion that authors get out and start talking about their book before it's written. And I thought, ooh.
Right.
So number one.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Yeah.
So what do you recommend to be talking about? And then, of course, once you start talking about it, it's like, what's the due date?
Right. So then people want to know. And you're like, now all of a sudden you have a deadline to meet, right? And or a target. Some people don't like using the word deadline, but authors, we've been writing for decades, deadlines, right? And you need to have something out there so that it's not too far away, right? And so this is something that just kind of motivates authors to do that. And the whole idea of talking in front of people is terrifying to folks. I'm like, so is writing a book. So yeah, I'm glad you like the idea. It means a lot coming from you. By the way, if you need help with SEO or you want to look at your website and get an audit, would you please contact Nancy Fields? She works with me not only on my websites, but we found each other through being authors. And she's also signed up for the Beta Reader program. So if you want to chat with her in discussions on the Beta Reader Hub, you can.